Yes, sir. Sorry, what was that? Would I like to return to it? People ask me that question all the time, and it's my honest opinion is I like the work and I like the thing. You know, the issue is you know, I'm much older now than I was, and thank you. Thank you. I am immortal. There can be only one. It is the time of the gathering. Well, the reason why they're doing the franchise now, it's like anything. They bring back Batman to start with a younger audience, because they want that audience to follow them for the next 20, 30 years. So they want something that they can relate to. So they want something that's 20 years old, 25, 20, to that area. So, yeah, okay, 20, 30, it's still, you can still relate to a 30-year-old when you're 15 to 20 years old. You can still relate to them. You can still relate, I find that person attractive, sexy, interesting, whatever. You know, and I think that's the way they look at it. So I can't, you know, would I do it? Yeah, I'd do it. I don't know for how long, because, you know, it would depend. I'd love to redo a film. The film I'd like to do would be the one I would like to have much more control over the writing. The funny thing was, in Highland of the Source, I spoke with David Abramowitz, and David was reading me over the phone some of the scenes that he'd written for Highland of the Source. When I got the script, none of those scenes were in it because somebody else had written the script. They take the script and throw it out. So you have no control a lot of the times, and that's where I prefer a writer that. And I understand the writer right now that's did the new one. It's supposed to be very good. You know, so I think the script will be good. It just might be a little different. They're making a new, yes, they're supposed to be making a new one with Ryan Reynolds. Was Ryan Reynolds? I don't know whether that will, you know, happen. But do I agree with Ryan Reynolds? I answered that before you came in, actually, I think, and I said I don't have any choice in the matter, and I would want to see what the film was like. I said before I can give an honest opinion as to whether I think he's the right person for the role.
Yes, earlier you said you were writing a script, and how long have you been working on it, and what's the most difficult part of writing it so far?
I've written a few scripts. Usually it's the hardest thing is actually coming up with the characters, the structure, etc. And you have to really create that first. The one I'm writing right now is called Beneath the Shadows, and it's based on a true story that is out of Hungary between 1944 and 1953. A place called the House of Terror, which actually exists, that is a museum today based on the 4,000 plus people that were tortured and killed in this place. And it's the story of this woman who goes through trying to find out what's going on in this place. So, but to do that, it's a very complex. There's different scripts have a different complexity to them. This one needs to be done in a certain way, so you don't reveal certain things, that you round off certain characters. It's not as linear as some other, you know, scripts can be, where you can just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. So what we did was, it was based on a script somebody else had written, that we then took apart, took some of the elements of that, and then wrote a 14-page outline that I worked with a writer on. And writing on that outline basically outlines the scenes and the things that you want to see in that script, so that when you start writing it, you can take that outline, and I'm doing it now, I take a piece of the outline and go, okay, this is the scene that's right, and then it'll go off into something else, because you go, oh, I need to add this to it, I need to do this. So it gradually changes as you write. So that's the process, which is really good, because you look at, there's a show coming out, a friend of mine did, called Showrunners, and it's about all the showrunners in Hollywood. Guys that did Spartacus, guys that did The Walking Dead, guys that did a lot of, and it's about these guys, and they film them in their room. And when you look at this, what they're doing, they have on screens, okay, episode 23. We're going to start it with this, we're going to go to this, and at this stage we need to do this, and this character's going to do this, and they discuss how there's like 5 people in the room discussing how to structure this thing and how to make it work, and then the writer goes away and writes it. So you're talking about a lot of people, and it takes time to do that. Doing it on your own takes a little longer, but you have to do those structures, otherwise just writing something out doesn't always work because it's just coming out of your head and you might have forgotten something unless you've got some sort of structure prior to going into writing.
How many times does the actor rewrite the script on the fly or before the actual screen shooting?
Depends who they are. It's always, sometimes things are written really well and you don't have to change them. The film we just did in Russia, we did a lot of rewrites on the set. I actually rewrote the entire last scene based on what was there, what I was talking to the director about and the other actors, because it didn't have a good final ending. You didn't understand it. So sometimes you're allowed to do that with some instances. In TV series, you really aren't. Writers spend a lot of time, as I just said, rewriting things and structuring things, and you mess with one line or one word, they will tell you. You got to make sure you say it like this. So it really depends on who you are and where you are to figure that out. My most physically intense scene, mentally intense scene? Well, I think the most mentally intense was 9 miles down. I mean, it was, you know, it's really screwing with your head. Physically, Highlander has had so many physical things that I've gone through. I mean, it was a workout. I mean, I used to tell people, I used to eat a chicken in the afternoon between lunch and dinner. They used to come out, they used to take all the chicken breasts, all the pieces, and I'd eat the entire thing. They'd bring it to me on set because I'm working literally every hour of every day, working on physical stuff, rewriting stuff, So you have to have something that keeps you going. And I was eating, in 4 seasons, I was just eating all this stuff, kept eating. And I just, I wasn't putting weight on because I was doing so much stuff, I was burning those calories off. So physically, Highlander was very intensive. All right, they want to cut me off. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all your support, and hope to see you again maybe next year. And follow us on the Peace Fund. I do a radio show every week. Peace Fund Radio, you'll see it online. We have other celebrities on there. I talk about kids, I talk about a lot of fun stuff as well. I have capture contests, a lot of things we do. So you might get more information there. I hope to see you again, and thanks.